Welcome back to the Winning Mentality Podcast, where we continue our conversation with my sister Marisa about her plans for the future of her business and what it takes to become a IFBB pro. So let's talk about business plans and continued competitions. What is your business exactly, and how do you go about your day-to-day thing?
Honestly, great, because 2025 is going to be the year where I just feel like I'm going to take off. 2024 was an amazing pivotal point for me. I was living in Dubai for a little bit with my ex, came back, and I was like, business, my girls, business, family. That was a priority. So my goal, honestly, is to be the best bikini. And there's a new division, fit model. I have wellness athletes as well, but primarily bikini and now fit model coach. I want to turn as many girls pro as possible. Take them to the pro league, hopefully get some Olympia qualifications. I really want to have that legacy of being a quality coach, bring quality to the stage. For myself, my goal is to make it to Olympia. That is the end all be all. I took all of 2024 off. As you guys heard in the other episode, I have not taken that much time off. I've competed year after year. So this was a time for me to reground myself, both, health wise, make sure hormones were good, physique was good, foundation of muscle was good, but business wise as well.
So you haven't been to Olympia?
No, not yet.
That's the main goal.
You'll know, because I'll be like, you're flying to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about quality of coaching, is it also a point to get quantity of clients, like as many as you can do, or is it more about the quality you're producing with the girls you have now?
I mean, I'll be honest, I want both. I want quality and quantity, but across the board, quality.
Yeah.
But I do think when you produce quality athletes, you continuously attract more quality athletes. So, my roster's at a good point right now. I'm always taking on more. Like I said before, I'm a lifestyle coach and a bodybuilding contest prep coach. I just don't showcase my lifestyle recomp athletes as much because they don't want to be put on social media. Some of them are moms, lawyers, doctors, or in the military or something. But next year I've already got big plans. I've got I'm sponsoring a show, which is big for me. It's the first show I'm sponsoring.
What does that mean?
So it's like how do I put it in layman's terms? So, like, when someone sponsors a show, your logo's on the banner.
Okay,
You
gotcha.
pay to sponsor. It's kind of like an ad. Like,
Right.
when we're watching Super Bowl, those commercials are.
So someone walks into the competition, the venue, they're like, "Oh, that's Marisa." Like,
yeah, that's Marissa's logo, or
Gotcha.
So, and it's huge for me because I'm a smaller team, a smaller business, and for me to go sponsor a show, that's a step forward. Obviously, I want to sponsor more shows, but this is the first step in that direction. I have some projects that I want to do for my athletes. Like I said, not everybody wants to step on stage. Not everyone wants to be a bodybuilder. So I have this project that I'm working on with a few photographers. I want to do a weekend where any of my athletes, they pay like a set price or whatnot, and we do a photo shoot weekend. So that's a goal that you can work towards, and have it. I teach them how to pose, the outfits to use. The photographers will tell them that's going to look good on you, that, and it's building that confidence.
Right.
You can be sexy and confident without stepping on stage,
like that.
That's my premise. I work with I don't coach males. I only work with women, and I want them to be confident across the board, because that's what bodybuilding and fitness has given me. So I want to give that to my ladies. But for me, I'm going to be competing in 2025. The goal is win that show, make it to Olympia, and just continue progressing within bodybuilding. I will say though, I have a timeline. I don't want to compete forever. I want a family. Yeah, so there's a time frame where I know that I'm gonna just step away and just be a coach. Until then, I don't know when that time frame is, and it would be different if I had a significant other at the time right now, and I knew when I was getting married, when I was having kids, but I don't. So right now it's just about me. Until that person comes into my life and we start building a life together, then we'll visit that. But bodybuilding is not the end all be all. It's a stepping stone. It's made me who I am today, but it's not. I'm not going to be doing this forever.
Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, right now, what we're talking about is your goal to be at Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
How does your business help you with your growth? as a coach, but also as a competitor?
I think it ping pong. So me being a competitor attracts more athletes to me. They see I live and breathe this, and they wanna follow my footsteps. I also will say that my experience has helped me drastically be the best coach I can be. Like I said before, I'm not genetically gifted. There's two different terms: genetically gifted and good genetics. I think you and I have pretty good genetics.
Yeah.
But when it comes to bodybuilding and sculpting your body, I actually have to fight my genetics a lot. And I think that has helped me a lot with my athletes. And that has helped me use my experiences because nothing has come easy to me.
Mhm.
So everything that I learned for myself, I can apply to them. Now, when it comes to how do my athletes help me, how does my business help me? Again, sounds cliche, but it's my athletes motivate me. When I see my girls check in, they're like, I killed this week, 10 out of 10. I did everything to a T, and I love how I look. My strength is going up. And I'm like, I love that. And that's my why as far as I get up every day and I'm like, I'm doing this for my girls, you know?
Yeah, I like that. When we talk about being, having good genetics, I work with a lot of baseball players, a lot of
Mhm.
baseball athletes. Well, I can say that they do have good genetics, they're athletic, but I think on the other end, you know, as you're saying, you're coaching your girls, on the diet side. A lot of times they're saying, I can't grow muscle, I can't get bigger because, I'm just not genetically gifted that way. But would you say, on my end, if they were to be on more of a regimented program of their diet and stuff like that, they could get to a point where they're getting bigger, they're getting stronger and faster, while also improving even more on their actual good genetics.
1,000%. So here's the thing, you can have good genetics, but every 1% around that is going to add up. So your diet is how you fuel yourself, food for fuel, nutrient timing.
Mhm.
You're going to have a baseball player who made it to the pro MLB because he's just that genetically gifted and he's a true athlete at heart. But did he really tap into his true potential?
Mhm.
Because is he like digging around just eating McDonald's every day? And he gets by because he's gifted, but could he be better? And I
Right.
see that in bodybuilding too. There are crazy genetics on stage, but sometimes you actually don't know if that's their true potential because they didn't
Mm.
have to dig deep.
Right.
They didn't
Right,
have
right,
to
right.
tap in. You know
So
what I
it's like
mean?
if you wanted to get to the next level, you almost have to break down what is already working, how we can improve that,
Hmm.
but then really like this one thing maybe you're not working on as much, and it's like this will set you apart.
That literally, and I couldn't have put it in better terms. It's like I think some people who have gotten by and have won every single thing or have gotten every accolade they wanted, they don't realize that they have to do anything extra or anything different because why? They're winning. But could they be the best at everything if they just change something? That's actually something I want to talk to you about is
Yeah.
that what you do as far as your aspect of coaching and what is it, you're still teaching nutrition, I know that, but your niche is also athletes
Yeah,
and
it's really strength conditioning for athletes, but also not necessarily preventing injury, but making them as resilient as possible so that when they're on the field or if they are working out in the gym, they're more resilient to an injury.
yeah, so preventative or even just having that mind muscle connection where they know
Yeah.
like, okay, if I'm gonna go this way, if I feel twinged, how do I adjust that? And here's something like bodybuilders is very different. We go in the gym, we're probably the laziest athletes outside of the gym and the most immobile athletes. Like we can't like I really want to go snowboarding with you, but I'm like, I don't know how my hips can do that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I've been an athlete my whole life, but bodybuilding is a different type of athlete. So for me, like I was just talking to Brandon. I actually wanna hire you. I know you're my brother, but I take my career as a bodybuilder very
Yeah.
seriously, and I need more mobility. I need someone to help me through stretches because one, we pose on stage and those are not comfortable poses. Two, when you're lifting and you're training hypertrophy training, if you have better mobility and you have you can stretch before and better range of motion, you're gonna grow and you're gonna activate your muscles better. So that's something that I'll be honest, I've been putting on the backboard because I
Yeah.
tick all my boxes that I'm supposed to do, my training, nutrition, cardio, rest and recovery. Yeah, I get body work and whatnot, but I'm not doing the stretches as as regimented as I should. And so I'm gonna hire my brother. And I think honestly that's gonna make a world of a difference this year.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you talked about the cardio, almost every day, but like strength training, hypertrophy training, you're doing that almost probably 7 days a week. I would say
Yeah.
at least 6, right?
6, yeah, 6, 7.
But you're going hard on your muscles,
Yeah.
probably the same muscle groups twice a week,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Glutes is 3 times a week.
and if you're building that much muscle, you are losing, in a sense, a little bit of range of motion.
Mobility,
And
yeah.
if you're not recovering properly, that you can still like flex your muscles, you can show it off.
Yes.
But like you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You
Since with
break your muscles
bodybuilders,
down so much, you're just gonna be in pain a lot.
exactly, we are in pain a lot. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. So like bodybuilders, we look good. We're aesthetic. We're not
But
like
what it takes to like look that good?
yes, like I'll be honest, like I my exes were big guys. I had a fear, like I'm just like, you're so big and like you're only in our 20s or your 30s. I'm like, what about when we were like 50, 60? Like it takes a toll on your body. So I can really commend bodybuilders, especially the big men who literally take into account stretching, mobility, and recovery because they know that their bodies it's a lot of stress on their bodies. And I'm smaller, but I still need to take that into account. So I'm really going to utilize you this next year because, like I said, every 1% adds up. Whether you're a bodybuilder, a baseball player, a boxer, if you want to be the best within your realm and your sport, you have to take every single box.
Yeah. And I think it goes hand in hand too, now that you're talking about, how I could help you or even your clients of just the recovery side, and also working on becoming just having healthier joints, healthier body, while also being able to move and showcase their body, right?
Yeah.
On the flip side, I actually worked with one of your older friends, coaches, AJ.
Yeah.
He took me through a full program. It was more of like a lifestyle program, but at the time, I think I was training to have my first boxing match. Pandemic hit, so I wasn't able to actually compete in that.
Yeah.
But I stuck with his program and learned a lot. Learned a lot about myself of like, what kind of foods I like, what worked for my weight loss, those kind of things. But it didn't really, for me, it didn't stick because at that point, did I really want to stick with these habits to keep my like 12% body fat?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I lost a lot of weight, but I was like, man, I don't think this is sustainable for me. Right? So how could you even help me, but help my clients, my, actual clients who are just training, they're working, they're trying to balance out their lifestyle, right? What would you say, would work the best, so that you're not just going balls to the wall, trying to do something, lose weight, and then kind of hit a plateau or burnout?
I love that because this is actually something I say on my consults. Whatever program someone's taking part in, it's for me, my objective is to teach. So I'm sure you took away a lot from what AJ was doing for your
100%.
programs. And you can implement that now, even though you're not following every single thing he wanted you to do to stay, X amount of body fat and X amount of weight. What I tell my athletes is, yeah, you signed up for a 12-month long program. We're going to have a year together to do that weight loss or build muscle. I want you from 5-10 years from now not need me. I want you to be like, the program I paid Marisa for, I'm going to learn, I'm going to take away, because you don't want to be in a program that you feel a slave to. You want to find a sustainable lifestyle that you enjoy, that you are happy with. And if I can teach someone, so if I say you have athletes who just wanted to just be healthier, I'm like, okay, well, let me just teach you little things. When you go out to eat, get the leaner protein source. Instead of actual soda, do diet soda. Little hacks in life doesn't mean you have to change your whole lifestyle, but it means you're healthier. Make sure you're getting a step count. If 10K is too much, do 8K steps a day. Be more cognizant and aware of your activity level and your intake of what you're eating. And I mean, I'll say this for myself, is that anybody I'm around is more cognizant of that. So like our parents are so aware of what they're eating.
Yeah.
Mind you, diabetes runs in our family. So they have to be, but being around Brandon and I, they're more aware of their fitness and health goals and what they can do to be better for the longevity of life. So like, in layman's terms is, teaching your athletes little habits that they can make themselves healthier with.
Yeah, I mean, when I was working with AJ, there was a lot of habits that I formed that have stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I think along the way, I knew exactly what I had to do, but there was times where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. But I think the key things that I didn't do was I didn't communicate all of that with him or with my coach, right? So I think that's also a huge thing because as a coach, we are in charge of your body to an extent, but also like giving you a program, laying out the structure. But there has to be like a certain communication, right? With all your girls, like if they're not telling you how they're feeling on a day-to-day basis, like you can't give them your best effort, right? So would you say, what have you learned about working with clients of like not mistakes that they've done, but like learning ways to get the most out of them?
So this is again something I always say verbatim is like we're not perfect. We're humans. If we make a mistake, we slip on our diet. We couldn't make it to the gym for cardio, whatever. Don't dwell on it. It happened. The past is the past. If you're gonna dwell on it and beat yourself up about it, then where is that gonna get you? Now all you can do is put your best foot forward. Whether they had a bad year, they gained 20 pounds, whether they had a bad week, whether they binged, whether Christmas Day turned into Christmas week. All right, leave it in the past. Let's push forward.
And that's, I think, also an important thing is just like live your life, right? Like don't stick to something that's not going to make your life better.
Yeah.
Working with Marisa, this is going to be very, very important for your lifestyle because this is what you want to do. But like, you don't have to go 1,000% and then not forget about everything else, right? You can do that for sure. But if it works for you, then it works for you. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Is there any important lessons that you've learned along the way, whether that's, growing the business, working with your clients, being coached, and how's that going to set you up for the future now?
I think my biggest advice and takeaway is two things. One, be a sponge. Learn as much as you can, absorb it, and continue to learn. Don't ever think that you know it all because the moment you do, that's the moment when you stop learning. And two, take the leap of faith. And Brandon and I can attest to this, is that we are both, I'd say, fairly successful business owners, happy and love with what we're doing. And it's because we took the leap of faith. We're not doing the norm. We're not doing the normal 9-to-5 job in a corporate industry. We are owning our own businesses, pursuing our own goals, using our experiences and our passions and helping other people. So, if you feel strong about something, take that leap of faith.
I love that. With that is the end of our episode. Stay tuned. I will be introducing, the next episode, what's to come. But I really appreciate my sister for coming along. She's here for the holidays. Love you guys.
Bye.
That's a wrap to our podcast, our episode on the Woo Kids. Thank you all for listening to our stories of the fitness world. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like this video. You can follow me on Instagram at coach_BWoo, Spotify, and YouTube at the Winning Mentality Podcast. Remember, every step is a win. See y'all next time.